Teresa Giudice is reportedly desperate and willing to do anything to save RHONJ amid cancellation rumors. The Bravo reality series went on hiatus after a disastrous season 14. The women couldn't even be in the same room together to film a reunion special. Rumors have continued to swirl for months that the show will either be canceled outright or rebooted with an all-new cast, like The Real Housewives of New York. How far will the OG star go to save the show? She's reportedly so worried about the future of the show that she's willing to set aside her feud with her brother and his wife. Teresa Giudice, desperate to make peace to save RHONJ. Teresa Giudice addressed her longtime feud with her sister-in-law, Melissa Gorga. When asked if she would consider burying the hatchet, she said, "Never say never." The change of heart comes amid rumors that Bravo is filming season 15 of RHONJ with an all-new cast and none of the season 14 stars. Melissa and Joe Gorga are on the outs with Teresa Giudice again. The family members previously made amends and attempted to film the show together. The truce didn't last long, and Melissa and Teresa weren't speaking at the time of the season 14 final. Instead of Bravo's traditional reunion episode to end the season on a good note, the RHONJ cast was split into two groups to watch the season's final episode together. A source close to production told OK Magazine that Teresa Giudice is worried and desperate to return to RHONJ. The source asserted, she despises her brother and Melissa, but realizing she might not have a job, she is considering making amends with them. The insider added, but money talks, as does the risk of losing her prominent status on the show and her fame from it. So she's making it known that she will do more or less anything she needs to do to remain on the show. Desperate to make peace to save RHONJ. Teresa Giudice has been called many things over the years: loyal, fiery, stubborn, unapologetic, and sometimes downright ruthless. But now, the reigning queen of the Real Housewives of New Jersey finds herself in uncharted waters. After more than a decade of unforgettable table flips, family feuds, and jaw-dropping confrontations, Teresa is reportedly desperate to make peace with her co-stars, because the survival of the show itself may depend on it. What does it mean when the woman who once defined the drama of RHONJ starts calling for peace? Fans are watching closely, wondering if this is Teresa's attempt at redemption or a strategic move to preserve her crown. A legacy built on feuds. Since The Real Housewives of New Jersey premiered in 2009, Teresa Giudice has been its heartbeat. Her iconic table flip in Season 1 set the tone for the franchise, and her explosive fights with her brother Joe Gorga and sister-in-law Melissa became the show's central storyline for years. But as time went on, those feuds began to weigh heavily on both Teresa and the show. While fans initially tuned in for the fireworks, some grew weary of the endless cycle of screaming matches, backstabbing, and alliances that never lasted. The family rifts, once raw and compelling, started to feel repetitive. Add to that the off-screen drama of Teresa's legal troubles, her prison sentence for fraud, her highly publicized divorce from Joe Giudice, and her eventual remarriage to Luis Ruelas, and it's clear that she's been carrying that RHONJ franchise on her back for years. Now, whispers suggest that producers are pressuring Teresa to find a way to end the chaos before fans tune out for good. The breaking point. The most recent season of RHONJ was one of its most divisive yet. Fans split into two camps, Team Teresa or Team Melissa. With loyalties tested, friendships broken, and long-standing cast members clashing in ways that felt unfixable, the season ended in a stalemate. Rumors swirled that Bravo executives were considering a major cast shakeup, perhaps even removing either Teresa or Melissa to break the deadlock. For Teresa, who has anchored the show from day one, that possibility was unthinkable. Suddenly, the woman who never backed down from a fight began speaking about unity. She told friends and fans alike that she wanted to move forward, that she didn't want to keep repeating the same storylines, and that maybe it was time for peace. Desperation or transformation. The word desperate has floated around Teresa's name in recent weeks, and it's not hard to see why. Insiders claim she knows her position on RHONJ isn't untouchable anymore. With Bravo eager to freshen up its franchises, no one, even the OGs, are safe. But is her desperation purely about keeping her job, or has Teresa genuinely reached a new chapter in her life? After all, she's remarried to Louis, who often preaches positivity and healing. She's watched her daughters grow into young women who openly express how painful the family drama has been. Perhaps she's realizing that peace isn't just good for TV, it's good for her soul. Making amends. So what does peace look like in Teresa's world? It might mean sitting down with Melissa for a truce, even if they never become best friends again. It could mean extending olive branches to cast members like Margaret Josephs, whom she's sparred with viciously. It could even mean letting go of old grudges that have defined her persona for so long. Fans know this won't be easy. Teresa has built a reputation on loyalty, ride or die with those she loves, and cut off those who betray her. But making peace doesn't require friendship, it requires civility. If she can manage that, she could completely reshape the narrative of RHONJ. What's at stake for RHONJ? Bravo knows that without Teresa Giudice, RHONJ wouldn't be the same. But they also know that continuing the same storylines year after year risks losing viewers. Teresa's willingness to reconcile could breathe new life into the show, allowing fresh conflicts and alliances to emerge instead of recycling the old ones. The stakes are higher than ever. Ratings have dipped, fans are vocal about their frustrations, and other Housewives franchises are experimenting with bold cast changes. If Teresa doesn't step into a more collaborative role, the show could take a direction that sidelines her entirely. Fans divided. Not all fans are convinced by Teresa's newfound desire for peace. Some see it as authentic growth, a woman who has finally realized she can't live in perpetual chaos. Others think it's pure strategy, a desperate attempt to save her paycheck and maintain her status as the face of RHONJ. Social media is buzzing with speculation. Teresa without drama isn't Teresa, one fan tweeted. She's only doing this because she knows Bravo is fed up. Another wrote, I actually think she's tired. She's grown. Let her evolve. We've seen enough screaming. The debate reflects a larger question about reality TV itself. Can a star built on conflict survive without it? Teresa's next move. If Teresa truly wants to save RHONJ, she'll need to back her words with actions. Viewers will expect to see her attempt real conversations, genuine apologies, and a willingness to move past old feuds. They'll also be watching how her castmates respond. Will Melissa trust her? Will Margaret believe her? Will the rest of the group buy into her new vision? And perhaps most importantly, will Louis play a role in guiding her toward peace? Or will his own controversies reignite old tensions? A possible redemption arc. Every great reality star has an evolution. Nene Leakes went from villain to fan favorite and back again. Bethany Frankel turned her Housewives fame into a business empire. Teresa may be poised for her own reinvention, one that doesn't erase her fiery past, but reframes it as the journey of a woman who fought, fell, and finally chose peace. Imagine the shock value if Teresa and Melissa stood side by side, not as enemies but as reluctant allies. Imagine Teresa laughing with Margaret instead of screaming at her. That kind of redemption arc could be more surprising than any fight she's ever had, and surprise is exactly what RHONJ needs to survive. Closing thoughts. Teresa Giudice is desperate, but desperation doesn't have to be a weakness. It can be the spark that forces change. Whether her peace offerings are sincere or strategic, the fact remains, she knows the future of the Real Housewives of New Jersey depends on it. Fans will continue to debate her motives, But one thing is certain, Teresa isn't ready to give up her throne. And if making peace is the price of keeping it, then even the most unshakable housewife may finally be ready to put down her weapons.